Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. I am here with a very short video because I have a very small amount of time. However, I wanted to make this video because at the end of this coming week, on Friday, I am flying out for our first getaway vacation in a long time. My wife and I are flying out to Florida for a long weekend. We'll be flying back Sunday, and I wanted to a book or two along the way to try and knock out. We may not get any reading done while we're there, but we'll sure have some airport time on the way there and back. So I figure 2 books is probably a pretty good realistic goal. So I've pulled out 6 books here. They're all mass market paperback size. And so I'd like you to tell me 2. Which 2 would you get your vote for? So we're going to go through them quickly here. So this is Methuselahs Children by Robert A. Heinlein. It says, members of the families were ordinary human beings, no different from the neighboring Browns and Smiths, except one disturbing trait. They were extraordinarily long-lived. In the ultra-civilized year of 2125 AD, this distinction was intolerable. Hounded for a secret they did not possess, the families were forced to choose torture and extinction by their jealous, short-lived fellow men, or flight from Earth on an untested starship. They chose the latter, but to their horror they discovered that the alien stars nourished a threat even more terrifying than the one which had taken them from Earth. Sounds really good. Nice, really thin. I think I've only read one Heinlein, so that would be a very appropriate one to do. Next we have The Writer by Edgar Rice Burroughs, because Michael K. Vaughan would be happy about Edgar Rice Burroughs, right? And rather than, Tarzan getting back into that, I figure a one-off would be perfect. Again, very small. Karlova and Margoth had been enemies for centuries, and now they were about to join in peaceful alliance through the marriage of Princess Mary and Prince Boris. But the writer, the most successful highwayman ever to plague the 2 countries, secretly became part of the royal wedding plans. From then on, nothing went according to schedule. Who was this mysterious brigand? What could he gain by sabotaging the 2 nations' only chance for peace? This is thin. Well, it's 154 pages still, but that's a tiny little thing. Next we have The Space Barbarians. Yes, it is The Space Barbarians. I know you're surprised to see this here. Tom Godwin, also the author of Space Prison. So it says, in 3 bloody years of space war, the barbarians of the hell world Ragnarok had destroyed the Gurn Empire and freed civilized planets of Earth and Athena from alien domination. But the Earthenians feared and hated men of Ragnarok and resented the superhuman strength and speed which had won the victory. But when a new threat from beyond the stars struck at Ragnarok and left it desolate, the barbarians were strictly on their own, abandoned to certain destruction by the rest of mankind. Okay, so actually, it looks like I'm not going to be able to do this one, as I'm seeing here on the back. So the classic Space Prison starts the story of the settlement of Ragnarok. This is the sequel. I do have, I'm 90% certain, I can't see it because my chair's in the way, 90% certain I have book 1 of this. So it would be for Space Prison, but you can put Space Barbarians, I don't know which one you meant. Next we have Nightwings by Robert Silverberg. This is the last of the thinner ones. The Watcher has spent decades of his life scanning the vast depths of space for invaders, and then they came and conquered, and his purpose in life was done. As the conquerors established control and men collaborated or went into hiding or resisted sullenly, the Watcher began to travel. He studied ancient mysteries and prepared himself for a destiny he could not foresee. In the ancient holy city called Jerusalem, he hoped his youth might be returned to him, and he might claim the slim young girl he had come to love. But much more than his own destiny awaited him in Jerusalem, for the girl was much more than she seemed. 2 more. We're going fast, remember. Joe Haldeman, Camouflage. It is a Joe Haldeman book. It is something I've never read. I've loved everything Haldeman I've read. Unknown to anyone, 2 creatures have wandered the earth for generations. The aliens have no knowledge of each other, but share a residual memory of a mysterious sunken relic and an infinity for deep water. One, the changeling, has survived by adaptation, taking the shapes of many different organisms. The other, the chameleon, has survived solely by destroying anything or anyone that threatens it. Now finally brought up from the bottom of the sea by marine biologist Russell Sutton, the relic calls to them both to come home. For all these generations, there have been 2 invincible creatures on Earth, but the chameleon has decided there's only room for one. So, it's a Haldeman. It's 300 pages almost. So it's longer than the other ones. But that doesn't mean it'll be a bad pick by any means. Even if I only get through one, that's still a win. And last but not least, we have Bloodstone. Yes, it is Carl Edward Wagner's Kane series. I took a look. I had to see which one I should start with. I was going to start with the first one that he published, but it apparently has a story in there that's a sequel to the second book in the Kane series. So I figured I better start with just the first novel in the Kane series, and that's Bloodstone. In the dark swamp where toadmen croak and cower slumbers a secret relic of the days when creatures from the stars ruled the earth. In the booty captured in a savage raid, Cain discovers a ring, a bloodstone, which is the key to the power that lies buried, inactive but not dead, within the forest. Now Cain, whose bloody sword has slashed and killed for the glory of other rulers, can scheme to rule the earth himself. So there you go. That's 6 books, right here. Let me know which of 2 of these books you would vote for me to take. And yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to get some reading. I hope in this next week to not only kick off my top 100, but also to go over the things I've read recently. Otherwise, I will catch you later.